Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man JRich. Count that money, man. Now wipe the crust out of your eyes. Get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense, and you sound silly as hell. G-M-G motherfucking B, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Draft day. What's going down, everybody? It's April 25th, 2024. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with Ray G. NFL Draft 2024. Let's get it. We got it tonight, 6:45 p.m. Central Time, 7:45 Eastern. Make sure you're tapped in here on the channel. All around one. Y'all know what it is. Gretchen, my girl, I see you in the building. Good morning to you. Gretchen already with the takes, talking about quarterbacks. In round one, we're going to talk about all of that stuff today. Who else we got in the building? I see my dog Marvin in here, Colin, John, Dr. B. Harris, R. Stone, Tommy, Hunter, Joe Green. What's happening with you, my girl? Joe in the building, Toronto, Dave, Wyatt, Evan, Liv. Man, it's going down. JRich, I'm feeling good, baby. I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep. It's going down, baby. It's going down. JRich, bring your ass to the stage. How you doing, my friend? Where you at, Jay? Where you at, Jay? What up, baby? What up, JRich?
What's up? What's up?
What's
Ray,
going down? You
it's
ready?
Draft day, baby. It's draft day. I'm ready. I don't know if the markets are ready for all the money we're going to be making, but I'm ready.
Let's go. I'm ready for this noise right here. I'm ready for this one right here. That sounder right there. You know what it is. Yes, the draft chime.
It's going to be a crazy draft, man. It's going to be a crazy draft.
It's going to be a crazy draft. Here's the schedule again, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. I might start a little bit early, maybe 7:30 Eastern. Get on there, BS around with the crew. But live all of day 1, day 2, and day 3. Make sure you get tapped in. Here's the content schedule over here at DD. We got giveaways. We got prizes. We got memberships. We got good times, laughs, fantasy advice, all that good stuff. It's going down. It's the place to be. Y'all already know what it is. But Jay, with everything popping tonight, we just wanted to take, this morning and this episode first and foremost before we get into anything, to thank everybody that's been rocking with us all throughout the offseason. A lot of changes over here at Destination Devi. We brought on Trades in 5, Scott and Shane doing more stuff on the channel. You got Ty DeClaire doing things, Gene and Ike, Cody and Chase, Gump doing stuff with us, Jeff Mueller, our injury guy. So just want to thank everybody that rocked with us throughout the entire season to get us to this point. It's like the start of the real fantasy season, NFL season, kind of kicks off tonight with the NFL draft. So we just appreciate the love, appreciate the support. If you're new to the channel, we have a good time. We engage with our community. We love our community. We give back to our community. So just hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe. I know a lot of people watch this joint, don't subscribe to the channel. Help a young, independent content creator grow. Hit that subscribe button. But, Jay, let's get into it, man. Where do you want to start at today? There's a lot of stuff going on, Jay. A lot of rumors. I've got, different things pulled up. I got a bunch of different stuff pulled up. I don't know where you want to go. So, I got the old Twitter timeline pulled up, just trying to check for some rumors, see if any breaking news pops over here while we're live on the show. So we're just going to talk about it, man. Where do y'all want to start? Where do the people want to start? We got mock drafts, final mocks, some interesting things happening in these mocks, and just kind of following what the NFL world is talking about right now. Jay, where you want to start at?
That's us.
Hey, that's us. Where do you want to start at?
Ray, I think we start at 2, right? It seems like Daniels is the pick at 2. Seems about locked in at this point. Do you think that's going to change come draft day? Because we've seen this before. We've seen QBs at 2. And then it switches at the last minute. Do you think Daniels is locked in to Washington at number 2?
Well, this is Daniel Jeremiah's mock. I think he put this out last night. This is his final mock.
Yeah, I believe it was sometime yesterday.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels at 2. And we also have the odds pulled up right here over according to DraftKings. Right now, Jaden Daniels minus 1,000 to be the second quarterback selected, which would, listen, unless somebody trades up with Washington, We're hearing that they're not opposed to it, but it's going to take a haul for them to do that. Looks like Jaden Daniels is cemented in there, number 2 spot. I think the more interesting conversation is the third quarterback. You got Drake Maye right now currently favored at minus 240, and you got JJ McCarthy at plus 150 to be the third quarterback selected. And by all intents and purposes, at least right now, that pick is reserved for the New England Patriots, which Daniel Jeremiah does have the aforementioned Drake Maye going to New England. So not a lot has changed in this regards. Did anybody happen to catch Malik Neighbors in his Instagram or IG live and was asking who he wanted to play with and was what's the
Caleb,
quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the quarterback in New York? And then Neighbors was like, what's old boy name? Daniel Jones is his name, or whomever else they may draft. But nothing too surprising here, except, Jay, the swing and the pivot for the Chargers and J.C. Latham. So let me ask this question.
What?
But don't say what yet. Oh, let's hit the they drafted J.C. Latham. There we go. Let's say this is what's going to happen, right? I mean, is the time, like, I'm just asking the question, Jay, is the time to get out of Justin Herbert, like, today? You've got a couple of hours to get, if this, and have we not said this the entire time, Jay? As soon as he got hired, I was like, man, I'm not buying him taking no receiver at 5. I was like, they're going to take an offensive lineman. They are going to take O-line. And now everybody is saying, it ain't even Joe Alt. It's J.C. Latham, offensive tackle out of Alabama. Is this it? Is this last chance to get off of your Justin Herbert shares in Dynasty if you're concerned about this situation?
I wouldn't say it's your last chance, but it may be a good opportunity. It's funny, the way I actually look at it is the reverse, right? Yeah. I would be looking to buy Justin Herbert after day 1 because they can still pick up weapons on day 2 into day 3 that could make an impact for the team. Is it going to be an impact for fantasy football? No, but it may be enough of an impact for Justin Herbert. So I think a lot of people are going to be turned off by this pick of an offensive tackle, especially Herbert fans who want to see him succeed and have a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. But ultimately, this could be better for him as a passer, which would be good for fantasy. So I think there could be an opportunity to maybe buy a small dip on Herbert. It seems like his value is already declining, though. So again, are you really buying a dip or are you catching a falling knife? That's the biggest question. But ultimately, I think that this is a good opportunity for Herbert to have a better offensive line that he desperately needs. And if they're going to run the ball, that will only help the offense as well. So it's not a sexy pick, but I think it would be a good pick for Justin Herbert for the long term. And if you really believe in him as an NFL quarterback and as well for fantasy football.
Jay, in this mock, we're going back to Jeremiah's mock. There's something that happened right at pick 10. And I just want to ask you a question, your opinion, because this is the first time. It's the first time, or at least the first time that I recall seeing this wide receiver mocked to this team. But in the event that one Rome Odunze is selected by the New York Jets out here with Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, I mean, how does this impact Garrett Wilson, in your opinion? You know, bringing a player like Odunze in, and let's not forget that Garrett Wilson was, a lot of people had him as the wide receiver 1 in 2022. For me, it was right behind Drake London. But what would this do for Garrett Wilson if we see Rome Odunze paired up with Aaron Rodgers in New York?
I personally don't think it would change a whole lot. Again, would it maybe hurt his absolute ceiling? Potentially. But overall, I don't think it hurts him a whole lot. Garrett Wilson, in my opinion, is still a superior player, prospect, and talent overall. Like Rome Odunze a lot, but I don't think at any point in his career he would surpass Garrett Wilson. Now, I'm not going to say it can't happen, but that's just my personal opinion and how I view both the players. And, of course, the experience Garrett Wilson had at Ohio State, now in the NFL. He should, for most of his career, be at an elevated state than Rome Odunze. But at 10, I really like the potential of Odunze falling to 10 for a long time, Ray. It was under 8.5 on his draft slot, heavily favored, and not till recently in the ascension of Byron Murphy, Dallas Turner, and Laiatu Latu going up the board is what caused Rome Odunze to potentially fall down. He was pretty much a lock for the top 8, and now it seems like he is in question to be in the top 10. I really like the spot for both for Odunze and for the Jets. And again, this is just really Chicago passing on him, which would be surprising, but ultimately that seems like what's going to happen right now.
I don't think that was they've got Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. I can see them adding another young weapon for sure, but in this mock, they haven't taken Olu Fashanu the tackle out of Penn State, which I think would also be an incredible
we
selection.
haven't really seen as much.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen Olu inside the top 10 in a while, but Chicago taking a tackle to protect Caleb Williams, I also think that would be a solid move. But moving down the board, got McCarthy to Minnesota. The Philadelphia Eagles trading up for Talisi Fuaga would be a pain for the NFC East. This would be an incredible plug-and-play interior offensive lineman for Philadelphia who just lost Hall of Famer Jason Kelsey at center. So Fuaga to Philadelphia would be incredible. But here's where we have to talk. Joe, my girl Joe's in the building. Patrick, we've all had conversations about this damn player throughout the entire process, and I've still yet to get a straight answer, Jay. Everybody's kind of wishy-washy, straddling the fence, one foot in, one foot out. Talk about it, Jay. The steam for Michael Penix Jr. right now is, it feels like he's a lock to go in the first round today, and that could be narrative, media-driven, but this was the same player that prior to the college football game against Michigan where they just beat ass, right? He was viewed after he lit up Texas. There's no way he's going past Atlanta at 8. No way Penix is falling outside the top 8 in Atlanta. Then he kind of stunk it up versus Michigan. Now, after the pre-draft process, Senior Bowl, Pro Day, him running a 4.2 40-yard dash, now he's back up to being a top 15 pick. Raiders are in on a quarterback. Doubt they're going to have enough ammunition to take Jaden Daniels despite his plea for Antonio Pierce to go get him. Penix to the Raiders, man. Right now, call your shot. He goes to the Raiders, Jay. Right now, this dude is being selected the back of the second round, third round in Superflex drafts. We don't want him. What are you doing with Michael Penix, man?
It's tough, right? So as you mentioned, even the odds, right? Minus 350 to go under 32.5 and minus 400 in the one-sided market to be a first rounder. Yeah, so not only is he gaining steam, again, 13 overall, not my cup of tea, but if the Raiders are all in on Penix, then by all means, go get your guy. If he goes at 13 in rookie drafts, he'd probably be a late first rounder for me. I still don't know how I feel about the talent. I still don't know how I feel about the talent with the offensive line, because that for me is a bit of an issue. I don't know how the scheme matches up with his skill set, because I don't think we know much about the Raiders OC right now, right? And how they're going to play on offense. I mean, I have to do some research into that myself. But the biggest thing for me, Ray, that I think is a trap for fantasy is, how long is Devontae Adams there? Because while you have Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, I think Penix is in a great situation. When you remove Devontae Adams, when he isn't so happy, and he's getting older, and he wants to maybe go play with Aaron Rodgers or win somewhere else or whatever, which could potentially be a year from now or during the offseason, that's when it becomes a bit of an issue. And so would you draft Penix under the assumption that you have Adams for a year for sure, and then we'll see after that? And would you take him in the back of the first? Because I think that's where you'd have to if you want to get him.
I don't think you're making your quarterback decision based on how long the wide receiver, especially an older wide receiver, is there. Listen.
But people are going to say that, though. He has Adams. He has Myers, right? Like, that's going to be the narrative. So that's the only reason why I bring it up.
Yeah, I'll say what I've said about Penix all the time. If you let him stand back there, he will dissect you. If you give him time and you protect him, he can put the football in all quadrants of the field. He's an accurate thrower of the football. The arm strength is there. You get him to move, and he's not as good. You look at the percentage of his throws from inside the pocket versus when he's on the move, and how the accuracy significantly declines when he's outside the pocket or moving around. But if you protect him or give him time or put him in an offense where it's timing, it's rhythm, and again, I don't know enough about the Raiders offensive coordinator to really speak intelligently on that now. Listen, if he can get the damn receivers the ball for what we're trying to do, score fantasy points, I'm here for it. And if he's selected inside the top 15, Jay, let me give you this one. For everybody out there, let me give you this. Michael Penix at 13 to the Raiders, or J.J. McCarthy at 3 to the New England Patriots. Which one would you rather have for fantasy purpose? No, real talk, man. Real talk. Which one would you rather have? Let's scroll down the board. Let's let the chat answer that, JRich. Let's let the chat answer that. The Saints are taking a tackle. I believe they lost another tackle yesterday. I believe they lost another tackle yesterday. So Ryan Ramczyk is gone. They lost some. They're taking offensive line. So if you got prop bets out there, pick your favorite offensive lineman, and Troy Fautanu to the New Orleans Saints would be good for Alvin Kamara and Derek Carr and company. But my God, Jay, Brock freaking Bowers to the Indianapolis Colts. Jay, let's go.
You like it? You like it?
Lord
I
have
like it a
mercy, I'm
lot,
about to
Jay. I
bust.
like it a lot. Brock Bowers to the Colts with Anthony Richardson. You've got a big body receiver in Michael Pittman on one side, and you've got one of the most dynamic players in this draft, and Brock Bowers would love to fit with him in Indianapolis. Question for you: how high do you think he would go? How would people treat him? Because Rich would he'll target the tight end underneath. So how do you think people would treat Bowers? You don't like it? You don't like it?
I think
Come
it's
on, dude.
I think it's neutral. I think it's interesting, right? Because we love Steichen for the wide receivers, but we don't really have quite a feel for how he utilizes tight ends, right? Does he utilize them more heavily to where Bowers would be a heavily targeted option in the offense, or is he going to kind of be what Dallas Goedert was in Philly while Steichen was there as a pretty good option, a tight end 7, 8, or can Bowers kind of overcome that because of the talent? I think that's really the conversation you have to have with Bowers is, do you believe he's going to be better or worse in this situation? In my opinion, much better than the Jets situation. I think it's way better than the Jets. I think there's an opportunity for him to score a lot more fantasy points, play in better game scripts. So there's a lot of things that I like from that perspective on Indy. They played at one of the fastest paces, if not the fastest pace in the NFL last season. So that's good for scoring fantasy points. So all that to say that I think that he would be fine and he probably wouldn't be overdrafted, but I don't know if I'd be going super hard to draft Brock Bowers either to be my tight end 1. I think he's probably going to fall the 7, 8, maybe the 6 spot in some drafts, but probably still where he's been in the 7, 8 spot for rookie drafts right now.
So the Colts in 2023, and again, this was with Gardner Minshew as the primary quarterback because Richardson didn't play much. But under Steichen, their primary formation personnel package was 11. They ran that 78% of the time. Can you guess the tight end who led them in snaps out of that package, out of that grouping?
I'm gonna guess Granson.
Kylan Granson, 66%. He played in that formation, 252 snaps, followed by Mo Alley Cox, Alec Ogletree, and Will Mallory. They deployed 4 tight ends in Indianapolis last year, and I know a lot of that was due to injury, but they're probably they need a dynamic weapon. And with Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and Pierce there, I think they
50 targets for Granson last year.
50 targets for Granson. So, and that's Kylan Granson, not Brock Bowers.
Yeah, it could be better if you consolidate amongst the tight ends a little bit.
Exactly. Quinyon Mitchell to the Jaguars. I love it. Terrion Arnold to Seattle. Byron Murphy to the Bengals. And then you've got the Commanders, Jay. How would you feel about them? And rumor and speculation is Amarius Mims, the big offensive tackle out of Georgia, steaming up right now. Yeah. Going up the boards.
Flying up draft boards.
This would be, listen, I like what Washington is trying to do. I like what they're putting together. And I love personally young quarterback, Caleb Williams, Olu Fashanu, Jaden Daniels. Let's trade back up and get him a potential left tackle of the future. In Washington, I believe they lost 2 or 3 offensive linemen over this offseason as well. So this would be good for the Commanders. The Steelers saved the Cowboys by taking Tyler Guyton. Apparently, he's not very good anymore. Johnny Newton replacing Christian Wilkins in Miami. What a great pick right there. And then you've got Bo Nix to the Denver Broncos. We've continued to see this, so we're not going to talk about it again. At 22, Jay, I'm much better with Bo Nix at 22 than I am at 12. And they need a quarterback. You've got Chop Robinson going to the Vikings. I believe they lost Daniil Hunter in the offseason, so trying to replace that edge rusher there. And then my Dallas Cowboys, let's go. I'd be very excited about this pick. I'd be very happy about Graham Barton, the interior offensive lineman from Duke. Can play center, can play guard, hell, could play tackle if Dallas needed him to. This would be a phenomenal needs-based pick. I would be doing backflips in here in the studio if this happens. Cooper DeJean quickly rising, not as a white corner, but as a slot, nickel, hybrid, Brian Branch type safety, do-it-all nickel player. Yeah, I like him, a star role. And in Green Bay, I think he would play very well in there. You got Jared Verse, Latia Latu, falling all the way to the Cardinals at 27. What a draft haul.
Medical concerns, yeah.
Yeah, medical concerns. Yeah, medicals. Brian Thomas to Buffalo. We've seen and talked about this quite a bit.
Him falling, right?
Him falling a little bit.
Not in the mid-teens anymore. Not in the late teens. All the way to Buffalo.
Kool-Aid McKinstry to Detroit. Nate Wiggins to Baltimore. Xavier Worthy and Adnan Mitchell round out the first round. So let's just talk about these 2 picks. And then this is a great segue into a player on San Francisco who wants to be traded, doesn't want to be traded. I don't know what they're going to do. But talk about X Worthy in Frisco. Jay, I don't know about this one, man.
Why? You don't like it? I think it makes a lot of sense,
I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking about the Niners. I'm thinking about Purdy. thinking about the
Yeah.
offense. I'm just thinking what this looks like. Talk to me. Like, he's not Brandon Aiyuk, right? He's not stepping
Well,
into the Brandon Aiyuk role, right?
no, but here's the thing about it though with Brandon Aiyuk that's so interesting is like you remember him coming out of college. He was this guy who's super talented, just like the Yak monster, right? The Yak god of the Pac-12, and everyone's like, the Pac-12. I mean, come on, who cares if you're the Yak monster of the Pac-12? And then he comes out and he's a great receiver in the NFL. And so when I was doing my mock, I was like trying to figure out who to put to San Fran, and in my head, Ray, as crazy as it sounds, I'm like, you know who actually would probably go to San Francisco and be good? Is Troy Franklin. Because, yeah, sure, he's not the most reliable pass catcher, but he can get the yak, he can do the yards after the catch. And then I was like, okay, but who's a better version of that? It's Xavier Worthy. You put Xavier Worthy, he learns from the coaching staff, he grows into that role. It's not going to be a year one thing, but I think, you just take a dynamic playmaker and put him on that offense. And then the case for that as well was looking at what Mike McDaniel has done with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill in a very similar scheme system. Give Shanahan Xavier Worthy, and he would cook with or without Brandon Aiyuk. So I think it's really interesting to think about Aiyuk on the way out and then bringing him in with a Xavier Worthy with the speed and dynamic ability that he possesses used in that Waddle, Tyreek Hill type role that McDaniel has molded in Miami and bringing it to San Francisco.
All right, Jay, I'm just kind of scouring. Well, let's go back to Jeremiah's mock and then A.D. Mitchell to Kansas City. A.D. Mitchell to Kansas City. X-Worthy to Frisco, Odunze to the Jets, BTJ to the Bills, and then the top guys, Marvin and Neighbors. Where's the community put Adnan Mitchell? Where does the community put Adnan Mitchell, given the fact that Rashee Rice is going through his legal battles? Hollywood Brown, when he's on the field and playing, pretty damn good when he's on the field and playing, has not been a great model of health and consistency over his time in the NFL. And really nobody else there. And they say this is the guy that we want to take at 32. We didn't feel the need to trade up for anybody. We are taking Adnan Mitchell, the 6'3", 210-pound, physically gifted player, right? There's some things that I'm sure everybody's got to work on, but how would the community feel about this player, this situation, this pick?
Yeah, it's really interesting because it doesn't seem like the community is that in favor of A.D. Mitchell in general right now. He's kind of one of those guys that's blowing in the wind. His value is spotty depending on where you look and who you ask. But I think this would skyrocket his value, right? He would be firmly in that conversation with those guys you just mentioned. Would he go over Xavier Worthy in San Francisco? That's probably the biggest question. I think you can make the case for Brian Thomas ahead of him, playing in Buffalo, assuming that alpha role, or at least projecting him to when you draft him. But do you prefer Xavier Worthy in San Francisco or A.D. Mitchell in Kansas City? I think a lot of people would take Mitchell, but then above that, I don't think you would take A.D. Mitchell over any of the other receivers, but it would probably cement him at wide receiver 5 if this were to happen.
Yeah, I would be happy with where he landed, of course, because the situation is he's playing with the best quarterback to ever play football in his prime.
Yep.
I had to look the other day, Jay. Patrick Mahomes is 28 years old, and he's won 3 Super Bowls. Like, it just
crazy.
you just look at his resume;
Crazy.
It's just insane. So yes, I would be happy about that. And for me personally, I like Adnan Mitchell. He's an incredibly talented player. Texas, they had a good season this year. Quinn Ewers, he had his moments and he had his flashes. I subscribe to the notion that football is a different game, man. And I like the talent. I'm a big fan of his game. I would not steam him up over any of the big 3. I mean,
BTJ?
just based. Flip a coin. If I had 10 picks, I'd get a little BTJ. I'd want some Xavier.
But for
I think
you,
all the spots
though,
are good.
you have BTJ as your wide receiver 4, correct?
4. Yes, correct.
And
correct.
Situationally, quarterback, like
I would
it's
keep
all pretty comparable.
Brian Thomas would stay at 4 for sure. That's what I mean. I wouldn't steam him up. BTJ would stay at 4, but I like Adnan Mitchell. I like the talent. So that is this mock. But we were talking about San Francisco, Jay, and there's all kinds of smoke, heat, rumors, news that Brandon Aiyuk wants out. Brandon Aiyuk wants out of San Francisco. Or maybe the better thing is Brandon Aiyuk wants to get paid. Maybe is that the better way to say it? Brandon Aiyuk wants to get paid. And after the season that he just had and the consistency that he's had, It doesn't seem like the San Francisco 49ers are going to do that. Now, we did see Amon-Ra St. Brown get extended yesterday, Jay, or the reports of an extension coming for Amon-Ra St. Brown, upwards of $120 million, I believe. I'm not sure what the guarantee was on that. I think it was
77, I believe, is the number.
$77 million.
And then Sewell was 83 over the, I think, 115, because they both contracts got leaked.
So think about what's happening, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown and Devontae Smith, both members of the 2021 class, extended, locked up, got their guaranteed bread. They're good to go, right? Brandon Aiyuk, 2020 class, looks like they're going to make him play. We probably ain't going to give you that money, Brandon Aiyuk. So do you think we see a trade today with Brandon Aiyuk, and do you want him to get moved? I'll tell you right now, I don't want him to go anywhere. I don't want to see him anywhere else. Grass ain't always greener. Stay your ass with Kyle Shanahan. Figure it out. But what does he want? Because I don't think he's getting. What's he getting?
I'm
Michael
sure
Pittman
he wants
money.
A lot.
Michael Pittman money. He's not getting Amon-Ra money. He's not getting Amon-Ra money. No way. No way they can give him $78 million. They can't do it.
But here's the question: would somebody else give him Amon-Ra money?
That would be. I
probably not, but
probably would not do that.
Closer to it than San Francisco would probably. And so I think the question for you, Ray, as well is: would you rather pay T. Higgins or Brandon Aiyuk? Because I think we both would take Brandon Aiyuk. At least I would take Brandon Aiyuk. And if he knows that, and that's how the market feels, he is the most desirable receiver right now, not T. Higgins.
Hold on.
And so I think that's the other factor as well.
Bateman got an extension?
You didn't see that? Bro, yeah, out of nowhere, it's like
wait, what?
Go to the Ravens Twitter account right now. Just open the Ravens Twitter account.
Let's pull this. We're gonna do this together, folks.
This is hilarious.
Okay. All right, are you sure, Ravens?
Yeah, go to the Ravens official Twitter account.
I'm going to their official. Wow,
read it.
Bateman extends.
Did it say Bateman or Batman extended?
Yeah, Batman extends. Okay, we have extended Rashad Bateman through 2026.
What?
Okay. What's the what? That threw me for a loop. All right. Crazy. Well, they've got their receiver core. Jay, they got their receiver core locked up.
They're going to extend Nelson Aguilar next, just to make sure they got that core locked up.
They got that core locked up. That completely threw me off of my game. All right, Aiyuk, where do you want to see him go though, Jay?
So here's the problem, right? I do want to see him on another team because I want to see what is his full potential, right? Like if you give the guy 140, 150 targets, can he operate similarly or produce similarly to what we saw from CeeDee Lamb? Because I think if you look at their profiles, like there is some similarities in how they win after the catch.
CeeDee Lamb?
I think, yeah. Like, do you think that there's a world where Brandon Aiyuk kind of, maybe not the 1,700, but like 1,500?
Let me say this.
You know, I think it's very interesting.
I'm being honest. If they threw him the ball, yes. If they threw him the ball 170 times, like CeeDee Lamb got 100 and however many targets, yes. I think he could produce that way. Yes. I think he's good enough to do that.
And so with that, I'm like, okay, I kind of want to see, like, can he be a top 10 receiver in the league?
Good, man.
He's good, man. Like, he's really good. And he's not doing that in San Fran. He's probably not getting paid like that in San Fran. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, bro. I saw CeeDee's best game of his entire career, and it was insanity. But I think the Aiyuk has a similar type of ceiling, and I think they win in similar ways. Just CeeDee is a lot better at the catch point, in my opinion. But outside of that, like the way they move and the yak ability they have, they're both so talented, so talented. And so with that role, I think he could really take off.
105 targets.
Yeah.
And
wasn't he like 18 yards of reception or some shit?
1342, 18 yards a catch, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And caught 75 passes.
Crazy. That's like Deshaun Jackson numbers.
It's Deshaun Jackson, but man, he ain't getting $77 million. But Brandon Aiyuk apparently on the move. The Bengals' Trey Hendrickson also said he requested a trade. He wants out of Cincinnati
because he wants an extension, and they won't give it to him. Well, they can't, right?
And did you happen to see Jerry Jones and the Cowboys talk about the extensions for? Jay, this is not good. This is not good for the Dallas Cowboys. It's not good. Jerry is very old. Probably should not be talking. He probably should stop talking very soon. Now, you told me to pull up. Let's go to Peter Schrager. Let's go to Peter Schrager's mock. Let's go take a look at
Schrager's this morning.
Schrager's mock. Okay, let's take a look at that. And where are you at, Jay? Why is the screen messed up? Where are you at? Why are you not here?
It's fine. It's fine.
Anyways, let's go through it. What do we got? What do we got, Jay?
So we still got Caleb at 1, Daniels 2, Maye at 3. I believe Marvin still at 4. Does he have Latham at 5? Is that still a thing, Ray? Can we just
JC Latham is at 5. Yeah, JC Latham is 5. Yep, he's at 5.
I'm gonna lose so much money if Joe Alt doesn't go at 5.
You got Joe Alt to the Chargers. Yeah, everybody has Joe Alt to the Chargers. All right, let's keep going down. So you got Latham at 5. So
at 6.
Everybody thinks the Chargers are going offensive linemen. Everybody thinks the Chargers are going O-line. Here go the Bears in this one. Odunze, we've seen that before. The Jets and Bowers, we've seen that. Tennessee.
Do you think you get Bowers at 10, Ray?
Yeah.
What would you say is your confidence in Bowers at 10?
Making it to 10 or just like literally being the selection?
The pick at 10. Yeah, like going to the Jets, being the pick at 10.
40% confidence level?
I'd go less than that, but.
Okay. Joe Alt to Tennessee, so Minnesota trades out because McCarthy.
Okay, so he falls to 11, man.
Well, Minnesota, they took him at 7. And then Tennessee.
Oh no, I mean like Alt. Do you think like I think there's other teams that would trade up for Alt, don't you?
Oh, I don't think he falls to 11. No.
That part's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Nick's at 12.
Nick's at 12. LOL.
You got Penix at 13. Pretty standard
Too
stuff.
Much steam, man. Penix
tackle to the Saints. Eagles going defense. Jacksonville with Xavier Worthy. First time I've seen that pairing of player with team. This is the first time I've seen X Worthy to Jacksonville.
Yep.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it with T-Law in that.
Yeah.
You kind of already have. You got Gabe Davis. I was going to say in the Gabe Davis role, but better. But you've got Gabe Davis there. I actually think X Worthy would be a really good compliment to Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis. Like offensively, you roll out 11 personnel and you've got the flexibility to kick. You could, literally, you can kick Kirk into the slot, put X outside, use those two interchangeably.
How would you utilize X, do you think, in that role? Like, do you think he would work in the intermediate? Because Gabe is kind of strictly a deep guy at this point, like deep and short.
Yeah, so, X can go deep and short. X can do all three. He can do all three. Yeah. So I think this would be a good fit in Jacksonville. I think this would be actually a really good fit. This would be good for Trevor Lawrence. Talisi Fuaga to the Bengals. Let me tell you right now, Cincy fans, if this comes to fruition, like, just thank the football gods. This would be great for Joe Burrow in that offense. Amarius Mims to Kansas City. They got to protect Patrick Mahomes. First time I've seen them taking an offensive lineman and trading up for an offensive lineman in a mock. You got Pittsburgh absolutely nuking Brian Thomas Jr. I don't like it. I do not like it. No, sir.
You think he can't beat out that dog in Pittsburgh, George Pickens, for wide receiver one?
It's what they do with their 2 wide receivers and 2 wide receiver sets. It's just uninspiring offense, from a pass volume standpoint. So I would not want to see him go there. It's kind of like a redundant asset in George Pickens. The Lions get a steal in Jared Verse here at 21. Fatano to Seattle Seahawks is incredible. Quinyon all the way to 23 would be.
That's wild.
Man, that would be awesome see that very often for the Vikings. Tyler Guyton to the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper DeJean to the Green Bay Packers. Graham Barton to Tampa Bay. Latia Latu to the Buffalo Bills. Chop to Miami. Adonai to San Francisco. And look at this. Xavier Legette, the New England Patriots, jump back up into the first round to take Xavier Legette and pair him up with, who'd they take? Drake Maye, Xavier Legette. How are we feeling about your New England Patriots if this were to come to fruition tonight?
It'd be a tough choice, Ray, between a Maye jersey and a Legette jersey. I'll tell you that. I like Xavier Legette.
Like both?
We talked to him at the Senior Bowl. He's a good kid, man. Want to see him succeed. Don't like him in New England because I just feel bad for the guy. He has to deal with that shit. But it would be good. You get Drake Maye, a hopeful wide receiver 1. I think, he could grow into the role. He doesn't have to be the guy out the gate, but he could start out, learning at the X and slowly develop over time. We don't expect this to be a 1-year rebuild anyways, so I think it would be a good fit for a guy who could slowly build into that role. And clearly there is the path to wide receiver 1 for Xavier Legette in New England. So I think it's a good spot and good fit for any wide receiver. It just depends on what the hell do they do on offense. That's the biggest question for us right now for fantasy.
All right, Jay, go to the comments. Let's see what the people are talking about. I don't want BTJ in Pittsburgh. So John's like, no, thank you.
I
As a
remember when
Steelers
Pittsburgh
fan.
was a great spot for wide receivers. Now it's a death sentence.
3 tight end sets will crush Brian Thomas Jr. BTJ would get 7 receptions on the season. Seeing a lot of KC trading up in these mocks. This is from Garrison, saying he's seeing a lot of Kansas City moving up in this draft. If they move up, they're moving up for a wide receiver, Jay, or no? I think it'd be for another position.
Yeah, it seems like they're either looking at tackle or wide receiver at this point. Right now, the favorite is the tackle or offensive lineman at -120 and +120 for wide receiver. That's probably where they'd go. It seems like, if they trade up, it could potentially be for Worthy, but it seems less and less likely as time goes on. They're trading up for a Worthy or trading up for BTJ for some reason. It seems like it would be for a lineman. And based off how mocks are falling, like, you can get a pretty damn good lineman in the early 20s, right? Like right around where your Cowboys are, there's probably going to be a run of linemen that go right around that spot. So maybe you guys get one, maybe you don't. We'll see. But the Chiefs could definitely jump into that spot. And you look at teams like the Rams, I think that Philly, depending on if they trade up, there could be another potential availability there. And if the Vikings want to trade down as well, could be another spot where teams potentially move down in favor of getting a different asset. And then a team like the Chiefs can move up for a wide receiver or offensive lineman.
All right, Jay, we got our boy D-Bro, Derek Brown from Fantasy Pros in here. And we're on Twitter, just kind of searching, waiting for some news to drop. And he's got a little RB comps tweet out. So let's take a look at old Derek Brown's comps, JRich, and see what old D-Bro says about these RB comps in the 24 class. So he's got Trey Benson, Ryan Matthews. I've actually comped Trey Benson to Ryan Matthews myself. I think that's a very good comp for one Trey Benson. How you feeling about old Benson, Jay? You like him, yay or nay?
I like Trey Benson. I don't know how I feel about a Ryan Matthews comp. I guess he had a couple
Ryan
good
Matthews
years,
was
right?
good before he was hurt. He just always got hurt, man. He just couldn't stay healthy. But that ain't hurt. Trey Benson. So let's see what he's got for Jonathan Brooks. Melvin Gordon.
I've seen this a lot.
Melvin Gordon for Jonathan Brooks. We'll talk about that in a minute. He's got Jalen Wright up here, big play guy out of Tennessee. Jalen Wright, the comp from old Derek Brown. J.K. Dobbins. Okay. And then Marshawn
Is he strong
Lloyd.
enough to be J.K. Dobbins?
Marshawn Lloyd is RB1. Shout out to USC. Trey Mason. Trey Mason with a pull. What a pull there by Derek Brown. So shout out to D-Bro. Benson, he had him to Ryan Matthews. Brooks, he had him comp to Melvin Gordon. You said you're seeing that one out there a lot?
Did you see this video of Stroud?
Yeah.
Oh.
Stroud, yeah.
Tank Dell as his slot? Anybody in the league, bro. He picks Chase, he picks Adams, and he picks Tank Dell.
He loves him some Tank Dell, Jay.
If that doesn't tell you that Tank Dell is a viable wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, like nothing else will. He absolutely loves Tank Dell. Tank Dell's his guy. So for everyone who says Nico Collins to the moon, Stephon Diggs, like, nah, man, Tank Dell is clearly his guy. Like, clearly his guy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, D-Bro said it. Dell is a dog, and he definitely is. He definitely is. He's so good.
All right, Jay. Well, let's go to the. I was trying to pull up. Go to the comments, Jay. Go to comments. I'm pulling something up right now.
What's up?
I'm pulling up a way too early.
Random 25 first for Dell. Ooh, I would do that. Just a random 25 first. Absolutely.
For Tank Dell?
For 202 last week. Yup, I would do that. That's easy. Because the receivers are getting in that spot, like you're looking at a Ladd McConkey, you're looking at, maybe a Worthy depending on the spot, maybe A.D. Mitchell depending on the spot, maybe Xavier Legette, like guys that could have opportunity, but also maybe aren't in the best spots overall. So I don't mind that just because it seems uncertain in Houston. But after that video, man, give me all the Tank Dell I can have. I'm sure that he's going to be, if not the number 1 target, could be the number 2 target. But it looks pretty damn good for Tank Dell right now with how Stroud is looking. But that video with Micah was definitely cool. So if you haven't seen it, I would check it out. What else we got? Because, Ray, the one thing I got to ask D-Bro. Oh, okay, Ray. So we are getting some shift now with Latham and Alt. It's very slight, but before Latham was plus 250 and Alt was plus 320 to go at 5. Right now it's plus 275 for Latham and plus 300 for Alt, but still 300 for McCarthy. So it seems like it's going to be Latham, Alt, or McCarthy at 5. So we'll see. I put some bets in on Alt at 5 when we did the draft show on Tuesday night. And so it's like, and then Tennessee has to go and take Latham after that. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. What do you got? What do you got for me?
So what I wanted to pull up, and it's a fun exercise to do every single year. We're going to make it a tradition, and I'm going to start doing one at the beginning of the year so we can go back and pull and kind of look at what we thought. But tonight, we're sitting here, we're talking about all these things that ain't going to happen. They will happen. And ultimately, the only guarantee that I make is we will say, wow, I didn't see that coming multiple times throughout this draft weekend. But just all the mocks that we've seen, none of us have a damn clue. But it's fun to go back and look at what we thought this draft would look like before the season started to where we actually are now. So I pulled up a couple of way too early 2024 mock drafts, and we've got one from PFF. So you want to just take a look at where everybody was projecting these players to go to start the season and what we were kind of talking about. And we actually peddled some of this bullshit too.
Oh, 100%.
At times. So let's pull it up, Jay. And we've got right here. Let me zoom out. Yeah. So
because they had 2 top 5 picks.
Oh yeah. You remember that when we
the worst trade in NFL history, right?
Here we go. So this is a mock from PFF. It came out right after the draft, so May 1st, and we're going to do the same thing over here. But they had the Arizona Cardinals taking Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Remember when we thought they were going to be so bad that Houston would be so bad that they would get the number 1 overall pick and it'd be a great trade. So that did not come to fruition at all. Number 3, Joe Alt to the Indianapolis Colts. Indy played a little better than we thought, and Joe Alt, pretty good. I mean, he's still viewed as a top 10 pick. PFF was spot on with this one. Tennessee, Brock Bowers at 4. Tampa Bay, projected to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. True. Drake Maye, top 5, still there. Olu Fashanu to the Washington Commanders. The Rams picking at 7, Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. The Green Bay Packers, remember Oli Mecca, Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. He's still there right now. Falcons at 9. They almost nailed the draft slot for the Falcons, but JRich Verse at 9, and you commonly see him mocked to Atlanta as well. Right? Yeah. Pittsburgh, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is falling a little bit. The Seahawks and Johnny Newton still in there as a first rounder. Right. J.C. Latham to New England. Look at this. Shout out PFF.
Oh my God.
Look at that in May. Yeah, damn, Michael Penix Jr. Let's go. Y'all shitting on those PFF grades, and they're just nailing this mock a year in advance. The Bears at 14, Dallas Turner. The Bears at 15. Right? They thought old Bryce Young was going to be a little bit better than they were, and they were going to take Kalen King out of Penn State, so he's not in there. Cooper DeJean still in there with the Denver Broncos, first round. Leonard Taylor to Houston. JT Sanders to the Chargers. He is not going to be a first-round pick, but I still like the player. Chop Robinson, still viewed as a first-rounder to the Giants. JT Tuamalo, the edge rusher from Ohio State, went back to school. Quinn Ewers, Minnesota Vikings need a quarterback, but Quinn is back in college. Graham Barton, look at Graham Barton. PFF nailing it again with Graham Barton out of Duke. Denzel Burke, the cornerback from Ohio State, I believe he went back to school.
He went back too, right? Yeah.
Yep, he went back to school. Michael Hall going to the Ravens. Mason Smith, defensive tackle, LSU. Cowboys, Cooper Beebe, probably going to be a second-round pick. Not bad. Good call to throw Cooper Beebe in there. Cam Kitchens has fallen. A disastrous pre-draft process for the incredible safety. Kalen Bullock has fallen a bit. I don't know who this tackle is, and he plays on my USC Trojans. This tackle from BYU, still a riser and some projected to be a first-round pick. Then you got Xavier Worthy in the first round of Philadelphia. And Kansas City taking Romo Dunze at 32. Jay, did you notice a name that was not in this mock?
Well, was Malik Neighbors in that mock?
No,
and
Malik
so was Jaden
Neighbors.
Daniels, right? And Jaden
no
Daniels
Malik,
wasn't either. Yeah,
no
Jaden
Malik
Neighbors, which is kind of
no Malik Neighbors. Well, it's not a lot.
Yeah,
of people
no McCarthy.
I think people were a little nervous about LSU based on what happened with Butte. But yeah, a lot of people didn't have Neighbors, not even in the first round. JRich, not even in the first round. No Daniels, no McCarthy, no Neighbors. Just very, very interesting. There was another one that I wanted to pull up.
Surprised to see Dunze in there over Neighbors, just given the SEC bias.
Yeah, let's pull this one up and just take a look at where we were thinking. This is from Yard Breaker. Jay, I don't.
There we go.
Yeah, we got one from
Giving
Yard
Breaker
Breaker.
some pub. Let's go.
Yard Breaker. Let's go. Caleb Williams at 1, and then there we go. We're doubling up. Caleb and Marv. Just
there we go.
My God, imagine if
what
that
a team Arizona's building.
Yeah, they just building a dope squad. You got Fashanu, Drake May to Tampa Bay, Kool-Aid McKinstry, KJ Jefferson. Let's go. What? KJ Jefferson.
You are the king of the KJ Jefferson hype train.
Let's go. I'm not.
You are the conductor.
He's a great college quarterback.
Up KJ forever, man. So for years. Go get yourself that, because one of these days he could be the next Dak Prescott.
Oh, get the hell out of here. Atlanta.
You know why, Ray? Because Arkansas, Jerry Jones.
Get out of here. Atlanta takes Quinn Ewers. Pittsburgh, Jared Verse. Michael Hall to Chicago. The Rams, Michael Penix, another first-round Penix. There he goes. Michael Penix, Joe Alt to New England. Man, I know you would love that.
That'd be great.
No, you would love that.
Dallas
the Bears and Dallas Turner. Oh, Spencer Rattler. Let's go. The Rattler back in the first round. We got Brock Bowers going to Seattle. Emeka Egbuka to the Giants. Bo Nix to Minnesota.
Oh.
Shout out to Yardbreaker. They got Bo Nix. They may have nailed it. Green Bay taking a safety. And the New Orleans Saints. There goes your round one running back. Blake Corum. Woo! Blake Corum to Michigan.
First round running back and safety? No way.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
In what world?
Oh, let's go. Shedeur Sanders to Denver.
Damn.
Woo! Let's go, Shedeur.
That's a pre-draft. That's a preseason take if I've ever seen one.
Jack Sawyer to Houston. Jeremiah Trotter in the first. Big Hendo, Travion Henderson.
Going
to the Chargers. Two. Got Ohio State going back-to-back. Kamar Lassiter, the corner out of Georgia, going to the Lions. Javon Bullard, DB, going to the Ravens. Big offensive guard from Alabama. Latham to my Dallas Cowboys at 27. Let's go. The Cincinnati Bengals. Johnny Wilson from Florida State. The Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go. Cole Bishop from Utah.
Another
Zion Nelson and Jatavian Sanders. Who else was absent?
I'm pretty glad we're not getting JT Sanders.
We got no Malik Neighbors, no Roma Dunze, no Adnan Mitchell, no JJ. We do this to just say that every year, as we enter the draft, and we do this tonight, and we have fun, and we rejoice, and we start to think about next year, you're going to hear a lot of people say, next year's class sucks. No quarterbacks next year. There's no receivers next year. There's no nothing. Just remember that, like, we do this every year. Going into the season, most people had two quarterbacks in round one. You know, most people. Or the two that are inside of round one are two that people don't even like now, and Penix and Bo Nix or J.J. McCarthy. No Malik Neighbors. You know, this is a can't-miss prospect, Jay. If he can't miss, why the hell was he not in anybody's first round, you know, going into the season? So as we transition out of 2024 draft cycle, and we do start to look ahead, Jay, let's just really quickly give the people just a little quick preview of next season, because you're going to have, well, we're not going to do it. We ain't going to do that. We ain't going to do that today. But you're going to have players that pop in 2025 that we're not talking about today, that when we get to this point next year, everybody's going to be drooling all over these cats. Because, I mean, just look at this. And this was mock after mock after mock with insiders, with analysts, people that know. And shit, it's just a completely different viewpoint today.
It looks like only half the players that are actually in the final product, or we expect to be in the final product, are in there in the pre-draft process. It says a lot about what can change over one season and players that can really elevate their draft stock for better or worse, right? Like J.J. McCarthy, probably gonna be a top 5 pick, wasn't pre-draft. Is that good or bad? We'll have to wait to find out, right? We'll have to wait to find out.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. What else we got? Let's see what's going on in the chat. We had a couple of super chats go through. Let's pull one up right now from Garrett G. Thankful for what y'all do. Best show on YouTube. Garrett, appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Much love. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for checking out the content that we do. We got a lot more coming for y'all as well. John right here, appreciate y'all putting in the time to give us banger content. There's going to be a lot of content, man. It's a long night tonight, long night tomorrow, but we're excited about this. This is what we live for. This is what we do. Jay, anything popping on the rumor mill? Anything on X? Anything popping on the
That's what
rumor
I'm looking
mill?
for right now. Nothing I'm seeing yet. Still waiting for that big bomb to drop, whatever pick it is. Right around this time, a couple years ago, we started getting picks almost confirmed or close to confirmed. Draft challenge is going to be a tough one this year. A tough one, right? It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, let me.
But lots of stuff to get to.
I'm on X right now, just seeing if Schefter or anybody a trade anything, and I'm not seeing anything right now. So the AJ Brown deal happened during the draft, right? It wasn't pre-draft.
Yeah.
It wasn't like before the draft started. It was
no.
While the thing was going on.
It was at the pick
when AJ Brown got dealt. Okay, so if something happens with Aiyuk, it's probably going to be during the first round.
Had to have that Treylon Burks, right, Ray? Had to have him.
Well, you see what happened the year. You see Vrabel is no longer there. He probably did not want
Neither's
that
the GM,
Treylon. They probably did not want that Treylon Burks. Let's go to chat, see what else we got popping this morning, Jay. What do you think the Eagles do? I think they're taking a wide receiver in round 1. I think they're taking a receiver.
Ray?
I think they're taking a receiver.
Are you making that bet? Are you making that bet? Because that's still I think I got that at like 40-1. First pick wide receiver for the Eagles.
Yeah. I think they're taking a receiver in round 1. I think so.
Who would you take if you were the Eagles at wide
Xavier
receiver
Worthy
with your first pick?
Xavier
Worthy's the pick.
I would say if he's on the board.
That's how it seems. Yeah.
If he's on the board, I would peg Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, wide receiver is 18-1 on DK, and I'm pretty sure I got it way higher than that. But
18-1 to go to Philly.
25-1. Yeah, to go to Philly.
What else is out there? Draft specials. Let's see what else we got. QB props, running back props, receiver. I'm looking DraftKings, cornerback props. First cornerback selected, pretty easy. There's not a lot of value right now, Jay. I'm looking.
It is draft day after all, right?
Not a lot of value going on right now. All right, let me go back to the D-Bro said Diggs and Nico could both be gone next year. Oh, talking about Tank Dell. That was the Tank Dell conversation. Joe said Worthy is my wide receiver 4. I think I have him at 5. I think I got X at 5.
You wouldn't have BTJ lower than Worthy.
No. I got Brian Thomas at 4. I think I have X at 5. Yeah. I'm going to check right now though, because she brought that up. So I just want to see. I believe I've got Worthy at 5. But man, good players. Just a lot of good players in this class. But I kind of talked about this the other day, Jay. Some of these cats are going to land in spots and just get crushed by landing spot. I got Worthy. Well, he's in a tier of Ladd McConkey, Adonai, Roman Wilson. For me, they're both in that same kind of cluster that can come off the board as wide receiver 5. Jay, before we get out of here, tonight is the night, round 1.
Tonight's the
night, your favorite round 1 guy, man. Who is your guy that's projected to go round 1 from this class? A player that you'll put your name on, you put your stamp on. Who's your guy? Who's your round 1 guy?
So my round 1 guy, Ray, if I could pick any player in this class, it would be none other than...
Well, they have to go in round 1.
Well, hold on. I'm going to get there, man. Come on. Let me get there.
My bad.
It'd be the white boy out of Georgia. It is Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey right now is minus 125 to be a first rounder. He would be a back-end first rounder, which would be great for his prognosis for fantasy football. And it's just... There's something about Ladd McConkey I've just always loved. I understand the lack of production, but when you watch him play, he just looks like a guy who is going to step into the league and produce right away. There is no, he could be the wide receiver 1, maybe someday he has to grow into that role, but for me, it really is Ladd McConkey. And from the moment I saw him, the moment we talked to him, he just seems like a guy who is ready to play in the NFL. And I'm glad to see him being a first rounder. I'm glad to see the speed checked out. The agility is there. It's really just the production because he played at Georgia that's holding him back. But ultimately, I think that Ladd McConkey is going to be a phenomenal pro. Doesn't mean he's going to be the best receiver I've ever seen, but I think he is more than ready to play in the NFL and will be a great receiver for whoever drafts him in the first round.
Yeah, Ladd McConkey's a dope player, man, and getting to talk to him and meet him and just a down-to-earth dude, was a cool guy. I'm with you on Ladd. I talked about him early in the process. I said, man, he's closer to top 5 than he is bottom 10. So Ladd McConkey, that's a good call. For me, I'm sticking with, and he's been my guy for years, the receipts it is Malik Neighbors. And I know it's oh, man, Ray, he's top 3. Well, people didn't have him there. And if you go back, Jay, I've been talking about Neighbors for about almost 3 years now. I was like, this is the next guy up from LSU. I think he's a bona fide superstar. DJ Moore, Jamar Chase, I think he is bust.
Could he be the best of the bunch? Maybe not the best of the bunch. Could he be better than Chase?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that, no. But I think he could. I think he can be the best receiver out of this class. Like, I love Marv.
Yes.
I love Rome. Malik Neighbors, I think he's an incredible talent. I think he does everything that any of these receivers can do, and a little bit more with the explosiveness, the juice, and he's got that Cody Carpentier dog in him. That's my guy, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is my dude, and it is not. And I ain't just get here in February. I did not just get here in February. We've been here for a long time. Malik Neighbors is my dude. But this class, man, I talked about this on Hot Takes and Trending Topics. Like, I'm looking at my list, Jay. I'm looking at wide receiver 17 saying, damn, I kind of like him too. You know, Jalen Polk, Taz Walker,
third rounder, right?
Jermaine Burton, Malik Washington, Johnny Wilson, Taj Washington, Jacob Cowing. I'm just looking at the list. Javon Baker, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Legette. I want all these dudes. I want them all. Yep. I think they're all fucking dope wide receivers that are going to contribute and help out an NFL team. But, Jay, you know who's a little better than Ricky Pearsall? You know who's a little better than Jermaine Burton? Do you know? Okay. Let me just give you some names that it could be a little bit better than those guys. DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman Jr., Chris Olave, Brandon Aiyuk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like these guys. But you gotta remember that there's a whole slew of NFL cats that's already done it, and they're there,
real good, yeah,
and they're real good right now. So let's enjoy tonight. Let's get excited. Let's have
how many QBs go round one?
But let's temper the expectations. What'd you say?
How many QBs go round one?
5, 6.
Ooh,
6.
Okay.
6.
Which one is it though?
6.
Because Schefter was on Rich Eisen yesterday,
6,
and he said 6.
6.
He said 6.
I said 6,
and that's part of the reason why Bo wasn't the first rounder. No, but now Bo's kind of back to being a first rounder again. And Penix,
Penix said 6.
Is okay. So Ray, what are the chances you think the Raiders actually take
very
Penix
high
at 13 though? At 13,
man,
not in the first. At 13.
Antonio Pierce don't feel like one to bullshit me, man. I think they're if it's coming out now.
You've talked to him personally. Did you give him a call?
You know, that's my hometown. I'm from Vegas.
This is why I'm asking you.
That's my team. I'm tapped into the Raiders more than anybody else in the space. I'm more tapped in with the Raiders and what they're going to do. And yes, you know.
So are you reporting?
If you want to call, I'm just saying what I believe will happen from the things that I know. I don't want to report shit.
But I do think you know stuff?
I think they're gonna take. I like it. I'm gonna go Penix. I think AP and Penix make a good pairing. I like it. I think they are. Yes. Ryan agrees.
Okay.
Penix to the Raiders, please. Penix to the Raiders, please.
He is the favorite to go to the Raiders, so that's good.
Jeremiah had 6 last night. We're going through the comments. Hit the music because we're about to get out of there. There's Justin Herbert news. Where? There's Justin Herbert news. Oh, turn the music off. Turn the music off. Hold on. We're not going anywhere yet. Justin Herbert. Let's see if I got fake news. I'm gonna be pissed off if I got fake news.
You get fake news all the time.
I think I did on the outro, as always. I think so. I'm not seeing anything with Justin Herbert. Hit the damn sounder. We appreciate everybody being in the building. 1732 in the building. Right now, we'll trade back, Ray, and we'll try to get him 13. Joe talking about it. Brandon said fake. Garrison said I haven't heard anything, and I've screwed up yet another outro and what's new part for the course for the show. But I appreciate y'all tapping into this special edition Wake Up Show. JRich and I will be back tomorrow morning to recap round 1, but y'all better be in the damn building tonight. Destination Devi Draft Stream, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself, JRich, Scott Connor, the Dynasty Trades in 5 crew, we will be live going through round 1 of the NFL Draft. And Jay, we told everybody to sign up using promo code Triple D to get into the draft challenge. You will not be able to win the stuff tonight, but we're giving away stuff tomorrow. So if you have not done so, last opportunity. Mad jerseys, bunch of dope shit. Use promo code Triple D. Get in on the DD Draft Stream Challenge. That's it. We got to go rest up, relax, get everything set up. We're going to have a banger of a freaking show tonight. We love y'all. We thank y'all. We'll see y'all later on tonight. Bring the gas. We out. Peace.